This class continues our work in the selection process. It's one of 10 classes, or 10 videos I should say, in the class. So it's important that you look at each of them. The full class was very big, so I broke it into 10 smaller files for ease of download and ease of viewing. But in the last video we looked at various criteria for selection, and one of them was the Lewis criteria, and that was the last one on the list. So I want to look at that in a little more detail in this video. So we're going to look at the Lewis criteria for selection. You'll remember it was based on organizational criteria, departmental criteria, and on the requirements of the particular job, the job criteria. So we had three levels. One quite wide, the organizational, the next departmental, slightly smaller, but as a part of the organization, and then right down to the individual job criteria. So let's look at these. We'll start with the organizational criteria. Well, the organizational produces certain attributes which they feel are important and should be displayed in their employees. So the organization has a particular culture. It has a particular way of presenting itself and a particular way of organizing itself, and it wants its employees to fit in with that corporate image, what it's trying to project. So if the employees are at variance with that, if they present themselves, they dress in very informal ways, or they are not punctual about timekeeping, or their workmanship is not completely up to standard, they're very casual about their work. If any of these things prevail, then clearly there is a mismatch between the organizational requirements and those of the candidate, those of the worker. So the organization wants a particular view to be put forward, and that view must fit with its efforts to build its brand. These attributes will provide measures against employee potential within the organization. So to some extent, the progress of the individual within the organization can be measured by the extent to which the individual fits in with the organizational goals. If the member of staff, if the worker or the employee is in conflict with the organization, then clearly that employee does not fit in with the corporate objectives, the ambitions of the business, and there's a point of conflict between them. And it's likely that the employee will eventually leave, because the employee will be unhappy at work, will not relate to the organization or what the organization is trying to do. The organization believes that these attributes will help the organization develop and meet its objectives. So the attributes of the organization will promote the organization, will develop and meet its objectives, promote the organization in the marketplace. It could be the brand image, the perception of quality in the mind of the customers, delivery times, punctuality and diligence, and all of the attributes that the customer wants. So the workers, the employees, the management will have to fit in with that requirement, and will have to design an organization that will efficiently satisfy the requirements of the customer. So each of the employees must have these attributes and these qualities if they are going to fit in. So in the selection process, the company will be looking for people who possess these personal characteristics, these attributes. The company will be looking at the recruitment stage, at the selection stage, which candidate is most likely to fit in, which one is going to find the work interesting, challenging, will be motivated, will want to participate, will want to be part of an organization which is committed to quality and customer service and growth and so on. So the need to pick the right people, the selection process must bear this in mind. At the functional departmental level, well, they have different departments within organizations, HR, finance, marketing, IT, engineering, production, design, purchasing, whatever. It goes on and on. Depends on the nature of the business. However, each of these departments will have its own requirements. They will have certain ways of working, the design of the office, the design of the shop floor, the layout, the routines of the work. They'll all have established practices, and it's for the new person coming in to adjust to those. The organization can't adjust to the new person. It's the new person who adjusts to the department, to the environment in which he or she will find him or herself. So they have their own job requirements in order for the department to function successfully. They're going to be measured by their efficiency and by their ability to meet the performance requirements set by the broader organization. And they are also, in a sense, a cog in the wheel. They must carry on to make their contribution because other departments will be, to some extent, depending on them. Therefore, the person coming in must fit in with this culture and must fit in with the requirements of that department. And the selection process will be looking for individuals that the company thinks will be most suited to fit in into that environment and work with them. So, for example, appropriate interpersonal and communication skills will be required in the marketing department. The marketing department, the person coming in must be able to link to other people and communicate and be friendly to other people, not to cause friction within the working environment, not to upset teams that have been established. They must have good communication skills. They must be clear and have a clear ability to write and communicate and speak, following rules of grammar and good spelling and so on. But you could take a different department. You could take purchasing. The person coming in must have good knowledge of numbers. They must be arithmetically competent. They must be able to process information quantitatively. But they also must be able to communicate and deal with the buyers and deal with other external companies, and they must be able to deal with the stores and the store's personnel. So there are skills that each of the departments will require and they will list. And in the selection process, they must be taken into account. Then there's the individual job criteria. This is concerned with job description and person specification. The criteria is derived from the job role and is expected to be successfully completed by the candidate. So the job description tells the candidate what is required specifically. What will the person be doing if they're successful in their application? What job will they be doing? And the person will then know what they're doing, and there is full information on either side. The employer will be recruiting a person who knows what is expected of them. So the job specification lists the tasks and the skills that the person should have. The tasks to be completed, I should say, and the skills that the person should have. The person specification is the type of person that's best suited to the job in terms of their emotional approach to the job, their personal qualities in terms of behavior, their timekeeping, their diligence, their presentation, their communication skills, and their personal presentation, how they present themselves, which may be important in particular if the company puts them in a position that they're going to meet customers and clients. The company wants to project a positive image of itself. So this method of selection, this Lewis technique, is often used in business to try and identify capable employees. So in the selection process, it may be the case that somebody from the organizational level will attend the interviews, will attend in the selection process. Somebody from the department will attend in the selection process. And someone close to the job that's going to be completed may attend as well. Perhaps a line manager who knows what the job is and knows the requirements of the job may attend and make a contribution towards the selection or otherwise of a particular applicant. So this is one popular route in the selection process. So we picked it out for one particular video. But that's all I'm going to do in this session. But I will ask you to look at the other videos in this class. There are 10 in total, as I said before, and I say in each of the videos. In the meantime, thank you for watching.